Welcome back to another edition of CEO Unplugged. I'm Scary Jones from Elvis Duran and the Z100 Morning Show. I'm here with Bracken Darrell, the CEO of Logitech. And we're going to find out what that means in just a second. Logitech is just one word, but it means so many things because my mind was just blown. Hi, Bracken. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Scary. Thanks so much for having me on the show. It's really fun.
This is awesome. This is a series where people watch CEOs from various companies and organizations, and they want, a lot of people like to know about the products and the things and the brands they represent, but also a little bit of history about how they got to where they got to. So just if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself,
Okay.
Where are you right now, by the way?
I'm in Northern California, south of San Francisco. It is
Cool.
absolutely beautiful outside. I can show it to you.
Yeah.
But I grew up in the middle of the country in Kentucky,
Uh-huh.
in a small town, Owensboro, Kentucky, an amazing small town. And then I grew up and I moved all around the country, and then I lived in Europe for a while. And then I came here 8 years ago, and I've been the CEO for 7 of those 8 years.
Wow. And now what was your background before you got to Logitech?
Well, when I graduated from college as an English major.
Uh-huh.
So all you English majors out there, tech is your opportunity. And then I became an accountant because there weren't a lot of jobs for English majors. And then I went back to school and I came out and I worked at Procter & Gamble in brand management, product management. Then I went to GE and worked in the appliance business. Then I went to Gillette and I worked in blades and razors, and I ran Braun out of Europe. And then I worked in appliances again for Whirlpool, and then I came here from there. So I've done a whole bunch of different jobs, but everything kind of in consumer products for the most part.
Sure. And now with Logitech, we were talking a little bit off the air before we started this. I didn't realize that Logitech has a whole portfolio of brands and things that we use in our everyday. You want to just talk a little bit about that, as we get started here, because I'm gonna do a little show and tell as you mentioned one of your most famous visuals, right?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with we started as Logitech, and we were in the things that everybody knows us for, mice and keyboards. And then we found our way into the gaming business because guess what? They use mice and keyboards. So we created a brand called Logitech G. Logitech G is now our largest business because gaming has just exploded, esports and gaming, and that's been super exciting. Just since you're going to do a show and tell, I'll do one. This is one of our coolest gaming mice. It's a G903. See the little G on it?
Yeah, I love that.
Isn't that neat? It's really cool. And there's a whole story behind that. Anyway, then we also added another brand, which is called Ultimate Ears, or UE.
Right.
And in that brand, we launched products. We have earphone products for performers, like I won't name names because I can't legally. We don't have.
You do the inner ear for artists. Yes.
Exactly.
Now, for people that don't know what that is, whenever you see an artist performing, you see it looks like a hearing aid, but it's actually not. It's actually shaped and molded for their personal ear. They get there's a process. They actually fitted me for one of those. And then and it's called an IFB, and then, you've seen people, I'm explaining to our viewers that don't know what it is. And then it has like a little cord here attached to it. And they could hear like instructions going on from the director or their instruments if they're playing it. And it just helps a singer and an artist perform even better. So you guys make those, huh?
We make those. And in fact, they're more than just for instructions. They have up to 8 speakers in each ear.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most high fidelity earphones you could possibly buy. And they're worn. We have maybe 50% share of all the famous people you could think of.
Yes.
This is a cool category. We took the ability to miniaturize and create great sound, and we moved it into Bluetooth speakers under the UE brand. So if you've seen the circular booms or mega booms,
which I have a UE boom. It's not next to me right now. I have the UE boom 3, I believe. You guys are on the 3rd one, right?
Oh yeah. No, we're on the 3rd one. We have all sizes, all shapes now. It's a phenomenal product. It's waterproof. You can throw it in the pool. It's really cool.
Yes, and I did just that. My friends and I were at a barbecue. This is so funny. We had the UE boom, and I didn't know at the time that they float. And he's like, this old speaker, and he just flung it in the pool. I'm like, what are you doing? As it was playing music, and then it just like bounced and it floated. And he goes, it could go in the pool. Ha ha. The joke's on me. But it was hysterical. So you guys have some great products for the consumer and for the the audiophile, the high end person, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we're working on a secret project I can't talk about, so I'll only
Okay.
snippet of it. But it's to bring that in-ear monitor experience, the super high fidelity sound experience, to regular people like us.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually buy it if you're clever enough to be able to find us on the web. Ultimate Ears. But so that's the second. That's the third brand, I guess. Logitech, then Logitech G. Then we entered another category in gaming called Astro. We
Mm-hmm.
entered console gaming. So they make the really great headsets, the high-end headsets for console gaming. So if you're a gamer on Xbox or PlayStation, these are the very best you can buy.
Yeah.
Super lines. And we didn't stop there. So we also we bought and brought into our company a company called Streamlabs, which is if you want to stream stuff and you want to make money doing it, and you want to have merchandise for your fan base, whether it's one person, it's your wife, or it's a huge fan base of millions, you can go to the Streamlabs and you can enable all that stuff. And we don't take a single dollar out of what you bring in from tips and things.
So if you're a creator, let's say you have a podcast.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
walk me through how that works.
Well, you go on to Streamlabs, you sign up. You can sign up for something called Logitech Prime. You get all these benefits, and then it'll help you set up backgrounds, and it'll help you essentially set yourself up where you're streaming right onto YouTube and Twitch. It's really cool.
That's awesome, man. That is great. That's next level. I mean, that's what we're at right now, because we're about to talk about how we've changed in the last 3-4 months, right? How things have evolved. One of the brands is the blue microphone, which I have right here, right?
So I wasn't even done yet. We make blue microphones, we make Jaybird earphones. So blue microphones are really cool. Actually, we're kind of sold out of that right now, but we'll be back in stock very quickly.
Funny you mentioned that.
But that's because, as you said, so many people are creating their own podcasts now and streaming themselves cooking and doing interviews like you're doing. They're not.
And I must say, the blue is a superior microphone. Now, it's not connected at the moment because we're connected for this show we're doing. So I have another microphone that's wired. But yes, I will tell you that 3 people on our show, on the Elvis Duran show, are broadcasting from home, and their solution to broadcast through their laptop into the radio station is their blue microphone. So during this pandemic, I'm not even kidding. One of them has a black one. One has a silver. So we're all really, really excited and on board with that. I mean, they are superior products, which leads me to a couple of questions that I had for you regarding the pandemic and how, that people are learning, to work from home, and artists are hosting concerts using their blue microphones during shelter in place. How has that driven your business to the next level?
It's really interesting because we have 4 businesses, the 4 primary businesses. It's like 90% of our business, and they are video. We call it video collaboration, which is video everywhere. So I'm on a webcam we make. We also make conference room cameras.
I was going to say, you're very clear.
Yeah, it's very clear, and we have great products there, and we're the market leader there. So that has a real tailwind because video is going everywhere. That, you can imagine, accelerated as we went into COVID-19. Then you've got gaming. More people are at home more. So guess what happens when you're home more? You tend to do more esports, more gaming.
Sure.
That's been good. We also are in as we talked about, blue microphone, Streamlabs. We're in the streaming business. So that's had a good secular tailwind. It's always going on. It continues.
You guys have checked every box so far. Like it are necessities during quarantine, like things I need. And it seems to all be at Logitech because there are, whether it be mice, keyboard, microphones, gaming, this is all like, you guys must be on a different level now.
Well, there's one more, which is, everybody needed an office at home if they didn't already have one. So you needed a keyboard. I'm using a keyboard, as you can see. You needed a mouse for your desktop, so you needed a desktop experience. So all those were driven by long-term secular tailwinds, and we announced this last quarter, but they all accelerated as we went through March, and people were really setting up their home offices.
Wow. Now, how did you guys, like did your business, like, what about the people at Logitech that were working for you? It's a massive company. I'm pretty sure you had people in these offices, in these labs and stuff like that. How did everything change once the pandemic hit?
I'd say the first day, which was, I think, Friday the 13th, March, Friday the 13th, everybody was like, holy cow, we're all going home to work. This is different. We had always encouraged people to work from anywhere. And we had a work we had a work from anywhere day or week every year for the last 3 years. But that's different from suddenly you're forced to go work from home. So it was quite a change, but I would say we were probably better equipped than most companies because we're in this business. So people, I'm so impressed with our people, how fast they've gotten into the groove. They're
Right.
working every day, and I'd say it's become quite normal now.
I was about to say, they say the new normal.
Yeah.
So you're finding that your team is just as creative in designing the products and, doing everything from a distance as they were before?
I think in some ways we're even better. I'd say the meetings I'm in, because my meetings were pretty crummy to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're much better. They're more organized. I'd say in some ways we're better. In other ways, there's certainly trade-offs. There's nothing like being, in person physically with someone where you see the texture, but I would say overall, we've traded off so little and we've gotten so much that it's hard for me to say it's worse. I don't know if it's better, but it's certainly on par with what it was. I think the new norm will be a combination that's going to have a lot more working from home in it than it did before for everybody, including
Wow.
us.
Now, the pandemic taught us, a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that needs to be dealt with, the threats to humanity. What do you think? Is there a new COVID-19 that's on the horizon, like the climate? Are we talking, because I understand you have some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we try not to talk about stuff normally until we do it, and we've been working for the last 10 years on making ourselves a more sustainable company. We got rated number 2 out of 146 tech companies, and by Sustainalytics in being responsible for the environment. And they didn't know what we were doing next, which we just announced. So we announced that we're going to be putting over the next several years the amount of carbon impact from cradle to the end of life of every product we make on there. And our goal is to encourage every company to do it, our competitors too. So we put pressure on each other to bring down that carbon level. So yeah, we're all in on sustainability. We believe it really is another pandemic. It's just not quite as short-term urgent, but it's just as long-term urgent.
Sure. Now, I saw that you posted a commitment to racial equality. That's a pretty bold statement, and it's transparent there. How do you see Logitech changing as a consequence of what's happening today?
I believe every company has racism built into the fabric of the way it works, almost every company, into the hiring practices, the promotion practices, everything. It comes from so far back, and I'd be happy to have a discussion offline because we could go on for a while on that. The only way out of it is to be transparent, to really look for it, to root it out, and then to be held accountable. So we're going to put all of our numerics out in public. We're donating to organizations that are already like the Southern Poverty Law Center, who already have momentum on this, and we're not doing a one-year donation. We'll be doing multi-year donations.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we're all in on this. We really believe that the momentum is now. This is the time every company, every CEO needs to get on board, and I think they are, and make the change. This is the time to finally right the wrong that's been done for 400 years here.
That's great. I love hearing that. Now, how do you build a culture at Logitech that's productive as a business, but also accommodates broader societal questions like the climate, race, and diversity? What specific measures are you guys taking at the company? If you can get into that.
Sure. First of all, you talk about it, and you make sure that it's easy to talk about. We're trying to make a place where it's okay to be uncomfortable, and that's why I use the word racism about us. It doesn't mean that the individuals in the company are racists. We need a much better representation of the people that we serve. The more Black employees, more women in leadership roles, more Hispanic employees, more of every minority group, LGBTQ+, everybody. So
Sure.
we've got to really work at this. And believe me, we are not at all where we need to be. And we look like a lot of companies out there. We've got a long way to go. So I'm not out here bragging about where we are.
I love that you're really outspoken and you're not afraid to talk on these issues. It's a lot of times it makes people uncomfortable, but it seems like that is a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's so critical that we be uncomfortable in this one because it is uncomfortable. But if we don't get out and start talking about it, I was uncomfortable talking about it, but I'm not anymore.
Good. I love hearing that. Now, what about the people on your teams? You run a huge brand. What advice do you have for the leaders in your company? Because I got a lot of people working for you and with you. They have teams of people, so it's teams of teams. It's like this whole web. What advice do you give them? What kind of motivation is there some kind of a, something that you could share with people and for our future CEOs for their companies?
You mean just in general?
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't think I'm a particularly good coach. I'm not even sure I'm the best leader in the world, or even in the top upper 50%.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think I'm really good at picking people, and I've got a phenomenal team. And so if you have a phenomenal team, your most important job is to get the hell out of the way. And so I try not to get involved in decisions where they're closer to it and they can make better decisions than I can. Now, there are
So you're not a micromanager at all by any stretch of the imagination.
Not unless we have a gap where it needs to be micromanagers. There are things where it's not the people who work for me's fault, the way we're structured, the way decisions are made. Sometimes you need to be at the smallest decision. Other times, it's, where does something get hung in the office? At other times, it's about, really making sure you get the right person on the field, and then sometimes being a sparring partner for them. I do get involved in individual decisions on a regular, daily basis, and I use my intuition. But I've got such great people that the decisions I get involved with are ones where I really could, probably only I could make them. But the vast majority, the decisions are made by the great people who work for us.
Wow. I love the fact that you trust them. That's great. That is awesome. Any other advice that you have for some potential people that are maybe a CEO of another company somewhere soon? Because there are people watching this that are just taking notes, because the CEO Unplugged series is about, a wide range of organizations and brands. And, so if somebody out there is looking to either be the founding mother or father of a company, or they just plain old want to, work their way up, what's your best advice? I mean, I know it's a broad question, but, aside from the whole work hard, study hard, and, there has to be something that was told to you that drives you every single day. So what would be those words?
Well, you know what? There's a whole bunch of things I could say here, but I'll say one that applies to anybody at any level in any job. If you think of yourself, I used to think, well, I was the president of my student council when I was in high school in Owensboro, Kentucky in 1981. And I used to think, oh man, I can't wait till everybody's paid and they're working in my company or my organization, because then I won't have to convince them or inspire them to do stuff. They'll just do it because it's their job. I rolled forward, and over the next 10, 20, 30 years, I realized, you know what? You're always in an all volunteer army. It's volunteers in every direction. They walk with their feet. They aren't inspired. They're not engaged. So you have to realize that your job is to get under people's skin and help them get excited about what they're doing, and then try to create a vision for that and convince them and cajole them and everything you need to do to try to get things moving in the right direction. And it's not about the people working for you. It's not about the people you work for, and it's not the people working around you. It's about everybody. You operate in this sphere, and you can run a company out of any chair in an organization. And the sooner you realize that, the better. You literally can, if you have a good idea and you believe in it, you can convince people, you can get people lined up. Just don't give up and think strategically about how can I get people on board in this all volunteer army all around me.
I love that. What's next for Logitech? Where are we going from here? What can we see around the holidays? And, I know you guys are constantly innovative. What could you share with us that's, not top secret?
Well, we don't announce any products in advance, but we're always rolling out new stuff. We have new products coming all the time. Every year we launch. I won't give a number because then I'll be held to it by our investors. But we launch so many new products every year, and we've got a lot of cool stuff coming right now. We also have this practice where we have these things we have trees, plants, and seeds. The tree is our biggest, oldest business, but still healthy. The plants are these fast-growing businesses we talked about. And then the seeds are things we don't talk about publicly. So we've always got between 5 and 10. In the last 2 days, I've been through 2 new seeds, and we just kind of gave birth to 2 new ones.
Oh, wow.
They're secret, but they're super cool. And if you invite me back on the show, one of these days I'll be able to talk about it.
Okay.
Grow, and then they will disappear. And something
this will be a 2-parter. This will be a to be continued. I love it. Thank you so much for spending time. By the way, the website, Logitech, is there a specific site that people can go to see the umbrella of brands that you're
Logitech.com? You'll see the brand logos up there. You can go to astro.com, you can go to jaybirdsport.com, you can go, we've got a lot of websites, so ue.com.
Fantastic. Thank you. Bracken Darrell, the CEO of Logitech. It's been a pleasure talking to you today, and thanks for spending some time with us here on CEO Unplugged.
Thanks so much.